We're going to be making today a trail bag. It's basically based on an old bread bag design, but I've kind of modernised it a little bit. I'll show you why. This bag you can use as a tool bag. You can suspend it on a line in a tent, on a ridge line. You can throw it over a branch and have two sides to work from with your tools. It will suspend on a crossbar on a push bike. If you used to make 4 of these, you could have 2 saddle bags, 1 bag on your crossbar, and you could have one as a handlebar bag. Now, I've added leather on this one. You don't have to. We're going to be making 2 styles of these today, both with the same pattern. Now, for the strap, I went to a charity shop and I picked up this old guitar strap. And I thought to myself, this is great. This would just clip on, and become a great belt strap. But you can pick these up brand new, pretty cheap. But I kind of like this one because it's got this kind of Native American edge to it. The leather I've used off this, I also got from a charity shop. I had an old belt that I've split into 2. We'll show you that. So this was the leather belt. It was 2 pieces of leather stitched together, and I unpicked the stitching and pulled it apart, creating quite a lot of leather really. So these will come in handy for your loops for attaching an axe if you wish to do so. You don't have to, but we'll go through that later on. I've also sized the bag so that it is compatible to be strapped to the side of a rucksack, in particularly the Frost River pack. You can make 2 of these and have one each side. They also fit a 24-hour military ration pack inside. You can hang it from a belt system as well, below where your pack sits on your back. It will sit nice and tidy below if you wish to carry it that way. As you can see, with my back belt system, maybe this is something you can do. You can also suspend it off the side of your belt, hanging down, using these extenders here. I use my baldric, which straps across my shoulder to counteract the weight of anything like my water bottle canteen set. But this can be interchanged at any time. Something you might be able to do, or you can do. Another thing we can do is turn it into a pillow and a sit mat. Now you've got a sitting pad, just stuff it with something soft, maybe some clothing. You've got a pillow and a sit pad. So yeah, like I was saying before, you can suspend it over a branch and just work from it, We're going to be adding some press studs in here later, but I didn't want to fit these now because I want to show you them going in later on. And of course, like everything we make, well, most of the gear we make on my channel, it would fit in your pocket. You could fit 2 of these in the front pocket of, say, your Frost River pack or another type of rucksack, and just have them just in case you need extra space, for food or anything like that. Let's get it nice and warm. The bag actually fits the bush hood that we've made on a previous video inside quite easily, and it also fits the teepee chair we made. So it's entirely up to you what you make this bag out of. I'm going to use some wax canvas, and I've used some white tent canvas, but you can use whatever you like. like I said, the leather I picked up from a charity shop. Now the leather work's optional, but we will go through that as well. Luckily enough, the belt I picked up from a charity shop yesterday had 2 brass D-rings on it for fastening it. The belt cost me £2. The D-rings alone to buy new would probably cost me about £5 at least for the 2 of them because of the size of them. But yeah, charity shops, some good bargains. So I've used a button, it's U-wood. It's just a turned button, but you could use anything you like. You could even use a button and a Sam Brown stud as well if you want it to hold in tighter. Right, let's get some measurements for you.
It's time for Bush Nerd to do his measurements again.
So we're going to be making our own patterns. Quite simple to do. What you want is some A4 card, yeah, and you want to get it and sellotape 3 sections of it together, yeah, on the long ways, like that, okay? Because we're going to be drawing out the main body of the bag and the part that forms the inside of the bag using the same cutouts, okay? So the first thing you need to do is sellotape 3 pieces of A4 card together or paper, okay? And then get yourself a dinner plate. I've used an oval dinner plate, but you can use a round one or, you know, any type of shape you want really. But I've used an oval plate. Draw around it and cut that out, okay? And once you've cut out one side, fold it directly in half. Draw around it on the other side and cut that out. And then for your inside of the bag, okay, you can draw around it again on another piece of card. Cut it out. I'm going to give you the measurements for all these now, so you know exactly what size you're doing it. Because the size that I've done is to fit, obviously, the Frost River pack and also be compatible to go in your belt. You could even, if you wanted to, just use the plate like so, draw around it, cut it out, okay, go to your other piece of card, use that to draw around, and then add another piece of card between these 3 sections, sellotape it and do it that way. I'll just give you the measurements on the length so you know what you're dealing with, just in case you haven't got any A4 card or anything like that. So length to length is 25 inches, okay, and the width is 11 3/4 inches. So that's 11 3/4 by 25 inches, okay? The part that forms the inside of the bag, I'll give you the measurement on that. So lengthwise, you want it to be 11 3/4 inches long, and the width is 11 3/4 wide. So that's quite easy to remember. You can see the inside will just go like that on both sides. Quite straightforward. To save time in this video, I've already cut out the fabric. You know, just put your template on top of your fabric, draw around it with some chalk or something like that and cut it out. So I've got the main body of the bag cut out and I've got the 2 inside sections cut out. This is all you need to do at this stage. Later on, we'll be making a leather strap for the bottom of the bag for the fastener. Now, if you remember my trapper hat video, I said to you, keep your patterns because they will come in handy at later dates. If you have made one, you should still have your pattern for your leather strap. But if you don't have it, don't worry, because we're going to show you how to make that later on. Right, I'm going to need the sewing machine. Actually, in fact, we are going to have to make this first, because I forgot to mention, we're going to be stitching it in as we make the bag. This is going to get stitched in. If there's a way we can do this so that when you pull the bag inside out, it's the right way around. Takes a little tiny bit of thinking about. Okay, so what you're going to need roughly, doesn't have to be exact. What have we got now? Call it 4 inches, okay? We'll go 4 inches by 1.25 inches. Yeah. I'll cut that out. So the easiest thing to do is fold it over on itself, like that. You've got a crease then. Cut it out. Because what we're going to be doing in a second is we're going to fold it in half again. Okay, so we're going to fold this little piece we've cut now in half again, like that. And then we're going to try and form this type of shape. Okay, you can draw around a 2p piece or something like that if you want. I'm just going to take it in like that, and I'm going to cut out this part here, keeping it folded in half, mind, because when you fold it the right way, or sorry, flatten it out, it's going to be perfect, or at least neater than it would have been if you didn't do it like this. Right, so there we go. So now, as you can see, we've got a nice shape like that. Now take this template and put it on a piece of leather, draw around it and cut the leather out. I am really running out of leather now. Let's just see if I can manage to squeeze it out of here. Maybe, just I think. I just managed that. I didn't go to the reenactment market that I normally go to. I normally buy a load of leather from there, but I couldn't really afford it, and I had to work as well, so it's just as well I didn't go. I would have spent a fortune. It's like in Aladdin's cave. It's basically like going to Narnia. Everything you can dream of is there, you know, swords and things like leather and craft work. These scissors I got from there, you know. Yeah, that's turned out pretty good actually. So what we're going to be doing in a minute, obviously we're going to be stitching the inside parts of the bag to the outside part of the bag, okay? But what you're going to have to do, this is the crucial part, this needs to be sewn on. So you can imagine when you pull it the right way around, this is going to be sticking out, yeah? So in order to do that, what we're going to do, we're going to find the centre and we're going to stitch that in like that. So when you pull the bag the right way around, it ends up being like that, okay? Now to find the centre, simply just fold this in half and mark it with a piece of chalk. And you know, you could do the same with the inside section of the bag as well if you like. Right, let's get the sewing machine out. Magic. Okay, so the first thing we're going to stitch up is these two inside pieces. And what we need to do is create a hem along the top, okay? Because you won't be able to stitch this once the bag's been put together, you know? So just create a hem like that. Stitch it on both of them, yeah? Let's get on with that. So obviously cut all your threads off, neaten it all up and stuff. But now you can see it's stitched all the way around. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make a buttonhole here and stitch a button on here. Let's choose a nice one. That's nice actually. So this is a punching tool. If you don't have one of these, you could use the punch that you get in a press stud set, maybe. What we're going to do, we're going to put 2 punch holes in top and bottom. Yeah, so measure it with your button. Put 2 punch holes top and bottom draw a line and just cut the line out with scissors, okay? So looking at that, we're looking. You okay, Hannah?
Yeah.
Yeah? What have you been doing?
Cleaning.
Do you like cleaning?
I love it.
You do actually, don't you?
I'm sad.
It's not sad. If you like it, don't you?
Yes, so.
Okay, so I've marked those out. I'm just going to put a punch hole in. Top and bottom. Can you put that light back on, please?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's alright. It's just because I need the light to...
Sorry.
My camera's not great. Right, so now you've done that. Yeah. It's a good idea to draw a line so you don't go off it. Just draw a light line and just cut that out. The reason you put punch holes in is because it would stop your leather ripping further, you know, because it's a round hole. If you just put a slit in it, it would just rip the leather. Over the other way, line it up with the bottom of your bag, fold it over, and you see where your buttonhole needs to be, where your button needs to be stitched on. So just get a pen, a mark, or use chalk, and just mark a dot, okay? And then stitch your button to that dot, okay? Now I went through the 2 layers of a bag because I don't really need it stuff to go right to the bottom, and it will make it stronger. But if you wanted to, you could reinforce the back of your thread with leather. But I'm not going to bother with that. I don't think it needs it, to be honest. So stitch from the back. Maybe push it through where the hole is, where the dot is, what you put. Drop your button on the needle. Pull it through. And then have a look where the dot is again and just go the opposite side of it. Like so. I'm using wax thread for this, which is getting tangled for some reason. What have I done wrong there? It's got tangled, but it's fine now. So pull that through, tie it in a couple of knots, but leave a long tail on it. Like that, okay? And then just keep stitching around the 2 holes. You know, the more you put on it, the stronger it's going to be. Okay, now just thread the needle at the back through the cotton, the wax cotton, and tie it in a few knots. Again, you can put leather behind this if you wanted to, or even a little bit of wood. I've seen vintage rucksacks that use a little insert of wood just to stop it from going anywhere. You can always tie these long tails together as well, just to give it that extra bit of security. Now, I cut these off and then... In fact, I don't think it is cotton thread. I think it's some type of synthetic stuff, to be honest. Because it just melts, so I just burn it with a lighter, like that, and then just push it down on itself. It just stops it fraying and holds it in place better. Right, so now you're at a stage where obviously you can fasten your bag. Now, it's entirely up to you what you do next. We've got the easy option, which I'm going to show you to do, or we've got the more difficult option, which is leather work, and this is all going to have to be done by hand. I'll show you the easier option first, and then I'll talk you through the leather work on this, and we'll put some press studs and finish this bag off. So the easier option is we'll fold it over and we'll simply mark it with chalk and double stitch it, creating a loop. And with that loop, you can thread some cordage through it. Yeah, so imagine you've got a loop on there, you can put cordage through it. You might want to make it wide enough to put a belt through it if you want. So you can do that. Now, if you want to put some D-rings on it, the easy way, I suggest you put 2 straps of leather over each end, like so, and put your D-rings on that way and stitch it in by hand. That way you can suspend it from a belt or anything like that, you know, a rucksack or anything. I would probably do that if I was you, but we'll just do this the easy way just to show you. I've got to go out now, pick up George from my mother's. He's been with my mother today and gone out shopping to the garden centre and stuff. And my tea's nearly ready. So I'm going to do that. If you see me in a different set of clothes in a minute, it's because I've continued filming tomorrow. But I'm hoping to finish this off tonight. I'll see you in a minute, hopefully in the same outfit. It's a good idea to mark this edge here, this line you're doing, with some chalk if you can, just so you can follow it. But I'm just going off by the eye. So that's stitched up there now. So as you can see, there's your loop, and there's your openings. And you are good to go with that if you want to just leave it at that stage. But if you want to add a leather in, what you do is you stitch a leather panel in on the top, cut some loops and stitch these in like that, and stitch your D-rings in, yeah? And then on the inside, I've used part of this old belt I bought from a charity shop just to create a lip. Now, I'm just going to add some press studs in here now. I'll show you how to do that. Hopefully I've got enough press studs left. It's getting quite late now, and it's Saturday night. So Saturday night, me and Hannah have a couple of beers and the kids chill out playing games and things. So I'm going to round this video up very quickly now and show you this press studding. So yeah, I'm going to round it up, but if you want to stick around, I'll finish the video, but if you want to stick around, you can join us for a few beers and we'll talk about some stuff, so just hang about with us if you want. So of course, you can do your bag or any of your projects much neater than I do it, you know. I'm just doing this purely for the purpose of making the video easy for you to follow. You know, all the neatness comes with time, basically. So that's it, pretty much complete. You know, let me just grab the strap, just show you that again quickly. So again, you can get guitar straps from Amazon. I reckon you'd be able to get one for about £7 or something like that. You know, it's a good addition to the bag, and it saves you making one. But we will be making a strap in a future video. I'll show you how to make one out of canvas, you know, what you can use offcuts with, you know. Let's get... So there we have it, guys. We've completed the bag now. It's ready to use. Like I said, you can strap it to your rucksack, to your belt. You can use it as a sit pad. You can use it for whatever you like. It's an easy project. Got lots more projects coming, so subscribe. That way you can find me, and you know, you can look back at all the videos and you can see the future videos, what we do. Loads of camps, adventures. We've got Arctic trips coming up. We've got canoe adventures. We've got some Viking cooking coming. Been talking about that. We've got a Christmas special coming up. But for now, if you want, you can stick around. We're just going to chill out, have a few beers. I'm going to get the fire going. So I made this diary years ago. I used to spend a lot of time with Roman gypsies and learning from them and writing down their language and learning their secrets, you know, their wild wisdom. And I used to do a bit of poetry. So I've written a poem about the owl, and you know I'm fond of owls, but I'll just read it to you the best I can. I envy you, graceful owl. I envy the way you are free, and that's how I wish to be. I envy you, wise owl. I envy the way you hunt, so silent like a phantom of a night. I envy you, beautiful owl, your eyes so bright, burning like a light. I hear you, wise, graceful, king of birds, but only when you call. And when I call you back, I am pulling down the wall that separates the world of man to the world of beasts. I envy you, graceful owl. So that's my little poem about an owl. I've got another poem in here. Let me just dig that out for you. So I've built two Roman gypsy caravans in my life. I've built a bow-top caravan, a little bit like this, but mine had a door on it, which is known as a living van. Some of the bow-top caravans had an open front, and they were known as an open lot caravan. And they were super lightweight for the cob, the black and white horse, to pull up hills and stuff. But and the second one I built was more like a Reading wagon, you know. But anyway, this is my poem about the open lot. It's not very good, but I'll read it to you. The open lot, so lush and light, pulled by the cob, black and white, loved by all with its paintwork so bright, can be pulled all of a day without much might. Oh, to own an open lot would be my heart's delight. So I will work from morn and right into the night to buy a caravan so lush, bright and light. Right. Well, yeah, I've got some recipes in here and all sorts of stuff, and like I say, weather law, some secrets in here that I'm going to reveal in some future videos. Like I say, this is a diary I wrote many years ago. You know, it's dear to me, but yeah. Well, I'm going to go now and spend a bit of time with my wife and my children. I'm going to leave you with this note. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel, and thanks very much for your support, guys. You've been great, actually. You take care. See you later.